Alrighty. Good evening, everybody. Hopefully everybody's having a great evening. See if we can get this a little straighter here. You guys can kind of see a little bit of what's going on. I am getting my phone blowed up. Oh. So what's going on, everybody? Charles, good evening. Merry Christmas to you and your family in this politically incorrect holiday. Our little snips here. Yeah, I'm doing a few things that are kind of halfway off camera here, but yeah, no biggie. I'm just installing a little bit of adhesive tape here, so bear with me and we'll get going. My phone keeps blowing up. Yes, I will do that. Just go to the YouTube channel and you can talk to me there. All right. Anyways, 24 Pills of Madness. Heard of the 12 Days of Christmas? Well, this is the 24 Pills of Madness. Is what we're going to be dealing with today here on this. Oh, mercy. So, we have 24 pills of red, white, and blue. Now, this build actually was started by my customer, and you know, a lot of it looks good. There's a couple little things we're going to have to go in and change, which is no biggie. I figure we'll use this for the output. What do you guys think? Nah, actually, we're going to give him an upgrade. But now that a strange buddy of mine that finally popped in, where the fat girl's at? Good evening, Mr. Adams. Your Christmas did arrive today. And as I was telling you, yes, I will open it, and I will do it here live. Got to give this a little bit better shot. And because this has came from my buddy Mr. Adams, I have to actually watch everything that I do here. So I'm going to look before you guys do. That's not so bad. Hey. All right. Looks like I got a kitty cat. Some guy with long hair, but that sure ain't me. And I believe a dinosaur. Pretty cool. Now that one actually took some time to make, guys. I wish I had that much free time. Sit down and cut out pictures of cats and dogs and what have you, as far as out of the phenolics and all that stuff. That is just neat. Now, sadly, I know some of this is not repurposed. It's actually brand new parts that he used. But now the dinosaur, that's actually kind of badass, guys. He used an old audio chip, new resistors, make a little rib cage, the quarter watt resistors, make his tail. That's neat. Well, thank you, Early, and thank you, Amy. Couldn't think of your name there for a minute. That is definitely cool. I'll have to set these off to the side here while we're doing our live feed. Cat around here. Granted, I know that you had to have something to make him stand, but why did you have to give the person a tail? It's only because of the fact that the legs couldn't handle the weight, I know. Either that or you'd had to use such big feet. But that is cool. Cool. Well, you should get your Christmas from me, Mr. Adams, what? In a couple of days. I think it was yesterday, day before, I was on the phone with you. And I shipped you off your present, so, yep. I like that. I bet I knew who picked that box out, too. And it wasn't you, Early. Yep, you can always tell when a woman helps a guy. You get sparklies and glitter and all that other good stuff whenever you get boxes like that. A man, he's going to use either a bag or whatever box he's got laying around. But thank you again, buddy, very much, and Merry Christmas to you and your family. Alrighty, so we're going to take inventory here of what we've got going on. Let's see what needs to be done, not done. Alright, so I know we've got to set the relays. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use one wire or one relay to fire this behemoth. This is what we're actually going to do once we get this mounted. So now the customer did go ahead and put me a little tab on the inside of the box to actually help support the back end of this, which is absolutely freaking awesome. So I've already got this pulled out. But we need to check and make sure what we've got and where we're starting at. So this is actually a build that I haven't started yet, but the customer did. And because of the cost of what something like this runs and everything, I definitely understand, because he's bought this piece at a time here and there, and all that good stuff. Yeah, so it's definitely kind of an expensive hobby to get into, as you all know. But one of the things that I did notice when I was pulling it out of the box, and I don't know how it happened, I don't know if it was on him or not, since he had ordered some of the parts from me,
We've got this, I think it's this one. One of these, nope, this one over here is actually off. So that one we're actually going to have to change to the correct value. Things happen, so it's definitely a good thing that we sent it in before it was fired at least, and have everything checked. So we know we got to change out this one here to the correct value, and then we're going to go from that point. So I wasn't expecting you up just yet. Yep. So I guess you're off to do something then, right?
Later on, maybe, but
Oh, okay.
Kind of simple.
I was gonna say, because I'm gonna work on this just a little bit, and then if you want, we'll go find some food. Sound like a winner?
Like a winner.
All right. Yeah, I guess my adopted guy here, he's actually popped in for a visit. But for those of you that are tuning in, what I'm actually gonna do is go ahead and I'm gonna work on what I call fun projects for the next 3 or 4 days. So, we're actually going to be taking some stuff out of order. I know that I'm not going to be able to take and devote a couple of days on this project completely just yet. So we're actually going to do this. The other nice thing is too is the customer did go ahead and provide with the same exact this stuff, Teflon wire. So I've got several boxes of this. This is actually, for somebody doing stuff like this, side projects, man, this stuff's awesome. It looks like he's sent me 3 different size wires, which is freaking awesome. So one of the first things I'm going to do is change out a cap. Just so happens I have what we need. I'm doing it wrong, huh? Merry Christmas. Like those wagon wheels? Yeah, we'll trim all this excess off once we get down to that. Hello, Michael. Yeah, I'm sitting there listening to the guys here on the radio over here on my end. All tuning up, playing with new toys they've got. The fun stuff. Oh, it's Mr. Black. I'm sorry. Good evening time. And Merry Christmas to you, buddy. I wasn't sure if it was too late for you to pop in or not. So one of the first things I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to change out that one capacitor. And then once we do that, I'm actually going to go back. We're going to actually change the input windings on both sides. This can be very stressful, especially knowing how much money you got there. That's the reason why the customer stopped right where he's at and said I need to have it professionally finished. So that's where we are at today. I wished I would have thought about it whenever I set up my bench. Wished I'd have put me another outlet right there where I could plug this thing in and have it on my left side where I'm left-handed. I'll probably make provisions for that a little bit later. Nothing a small extension cord can't handle, right guys? Yeah, you should be getting close to getting a Christmas present too, big guy. I've seen pictures of what Early's got started for you. He made me a dinosaur, a cat, and a guy. I'll leave those up there. You fried your eyebrows off. Oh Lord. Well, if you don't mind telling me, yeah, I'll ask 3 about that. I'm sure that's got to be an interesting. Yeah, that's got to be interesting. That's all I can say. All right, so. Yep. So we've got a little extra input wire here. I'd much rather see too much as too little. So we're just going to take out one winding. These next 2, I may have to actually change those out. I don't know if I'll have enough to do the combiners with what's there. Overzealous with O2 and a fire. Well, I'll tell you right now, Mr. Black, it's going to take a little bit more to, I think, outdo the Christmas story from BBI. I called him up the other day and was talking to him, and that story came back up again, and I sat down and almost cried. That was hilarious. Absolutely flipping hilarious. This project's actually starting to come very close to being ready for me to actually start on it. And since we're getting close to Christmas, I'm actually going to kind of shut down the next couple of days so that I can do some stuff that I want and ask him about the. Let's see. Oh, you went to see Christmas lights? Okay. But anyways, yeah. That guy has got funny stories. And he is a great storyteller, I will say that too. You know, a lot of it just has to do with the zest that he has in his voice. It just kills me, man. Kills me. I showed him a little video of a 1x4 that I did, and I had to take a double look and was so impressed. I haven't shot a video on it yet, but I may go back and do that here after a while. Not tonight, but little 1x4 that I was playing with. She is a bad little girl. Oh. Mr. Adams, what am I going to do with you, big guy? Like I said, hopefully you'll like what I sent you for Christmas. You should get it on Monday at the latest. No, it's no little black girls. Oof. I think I don't know where he got that. That is some bad Mamma Jamma looking stuff. And it is Teflon. Yeah, so is this stuff good? There's so much of that cheap Chinese stuff that's out there and about. I wasn't sure because I don't usually buy the Remington brand. I think because of where he had bought some of the BBI transformers from me, I think his idea is for me to go ahead and make the power chokes for this thing and install these. Which, what I have found, it's much easier to do it a little differently. Yeah, if the transformers aren't mounted. It's tricky. I know Luke's got it down, but he's only built, 700 or 800 with his his transformers. So, yeah. And I think what we're going to do is go a different route and actually kind of do this a little bit of old school way and go to the back of the transformer. And the reason why, I know we've got a lot that's going to be going on right down here in the middle, between our input power, our chokes, our combiners. I mean, there is a lot that goes on. And I think this is going to give me a little bit more room if I do that kind of old school. So that's kind of what we're going to do. Where to get started? He's got one of his shopping lists here. But we need to get some more stuff. Yeah, I actually had an order pulled for him, so what I'm doing now is actually kind of separating some of this out. spruce. Before we do that, let's go one step. You know, it doesn't matter how big you build a workbench, guys, it's never, ever big enough. I'm telling you. We're going to take this, we're going to make a modification to it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Best part about it, they actually extend past the transistor mounting. And like that 1 amp you showed me, at least it's not sideways. This is actually going in a 32 pill comp box is what this is going, guys. So I mean, it's freaking huge. Absolutely freaking huge. You would think, with all the stuff I've got, I'd be able to walk right to it. Of course, we can add that a little later. I think that's what we're going to have to do. All right. So the idea that I had was I was actually going to go ahead and put, so I'm going to go, since I can't find it right off the bat, we're going to do it a different way. I'm going to go ahead and bond this down. We're going to go ahead and mark this. We're going to drill our holes. Go ahead and feed this with our power wire. No, I didn't make it 4 inches smaller than it needed to be. You know, since it's 24 pill, you know, it's still got plenty of heat sink for the other 4 on each side to be added at some other time. But yeah, we didn't cut it 4 inches short. It's kind of a novel idea, you know. But over the next couple of days, guys, I'm actually going to be working on this. I've got a couple other radios too that I'm going to be doing, but you know, Daddy's ready to do something fun. Get back where it belongs, guys. All right. Another time I've got markers, pens, Everything's sitting out. Alright. Not sure how wide this thing is. 1 inch. Good. Makes life easier. Optical illusions. Alright. This might have actually been easier if I had 4 gauge, but I've got 8 gauge, so that's what we're actually going to use as far as to feed this. We're actually going to use 6. A total of 6. Let's go ahead and feed this puppy. Now, it's not a silver clad board, it's a copper clad, is what this is. If you're referring to the strip here, now it's just been soldered. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to go back. I've actually got some copper overlay. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to stand the copper overlay in a vertical stance to go ahead and give it a little more. Yeah, it is. It is definitely dark. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he uses the same solder or used the same solder. And I actually had to go up and get another roll out. This is actually my last roll. I've got to order some more of that too. So hopefully Santa Claus will be good to me and we'll be able to do that. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, silver is a unique creature. You know, I've got a really good friend in Arizona that he makes a lot of jewelry out of silver. It's actually that actually is one of the things that I've actually been wanting to tinker around with and play with. But you're getting into some serious money. But one of my harebrained ideas that I had, actually, Mr. Black, was to take, and I think, I'm not sure how big of sheets I can get it in, but I know I can get it really thin. One of the things that I actually had considered doing was actually buying sheets of sterling silver and using it either as an overlay on the top on an amplifier, or use it as a spreader underneath. You know, I've had a couple different ideas in relationship to that I've really been wanting to try, but that's expensive. But it would be beautiful. Oh yeah, the electrical properties would be wicked on it. Like I said, that's you know that's one of my goals, is to eventually go ahead and actually have enough money to be able to do something insane like that. Like I said, that's one of my goals. You know, it may one day be a reality, but I really would love to build something in relationship to that. You know, take a piece of phenolic, lay this down with silver. I mean, you know, face it. I mean, we use silver Teflon wire all the time. Um, you know, tri-plating. Yeah, I've actually looked into some of the different kits and stuff as far as to do like silver plating, and these boards are actually ideal because I mean, you know, they've already got the copper overlay. The only thing you have to do is strip the board down and get the impurities off of it and clear coat, all that good stuff, and then actually go back and do a silver plate on it. You know, that definitely would be wicked bad. Instead of the copper mine, it would be the silver mine. Yeah. And you know, like for example with BBI, he's got that, you know, piece of copper that's freaking huge, man, going across that amplifier. Now, sadly, I can buy silver that's nearly that same size. Granted, it would have to be near as thick because of their, again, you know, as well as I do, the electrical properties. But could you imagine building something like that out of silver? Jiminy Christmas. God, it would be gorgeous. Someday. Someday. Alright. Anyways, back to our project here. I need to quit frothing at the mouth. Oh. It's a good thing I got another roll of this. I'd be hurting for certain, folks. But we just need that for test. Would you do me a super huge favor? Would you do me a super huge favor? Out in the garage in the drill press, I've got a 1/4-inch drill bit. Will you bring me that? Please. Since we're getting close to Christmas time, can you see 3 made? I'm wearing my pajamas too. So we're building tonight in jammies. It's a pajama party. Yay! Yeah. Now this is the first time I've got to actually see this, like I said, where the customers already had part of it laid out. So, you know, this is actually going to be, like I said, kind of interesting, mainly because of the fact that it's not everything that I normally do right out of the gate. So this one's a little harder for me to sit there and really get a feel of how I want to get it all ran and what I want to do. So, you know, there's a lot to do. Anytime you pick up in the middle of someone else's projects, it, you know, it teases your brain. Definitely teases your brain. Thank you, sir. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff, this is the reason why I like to actually get this part done technically before everything else is there. So I'm going to have to actually go back and really clean and blow and all that other good stuff before we get too insane. Shop vac. Yeah, I need one of them little bitty micro ones. You know, I've tried a couple of those little Dirt Devil things, and they aren't worth anything. and I don't have room in the shop here for what I call a normal shop vac. There we go. Well, let me know. Let me know if you find one, because I really would like to order one. Yeah, my shop is about half of what Early's got to work with, but at the same time, I know he's got a lot of stuff that he's got in storage too in his. A few of you guys have popped in that are close enough within driving distance, anyways. Stuff right here. Hey, good evening, Bill. Watch your eyes. never need canned air again. The only thing of it is, it still doesn't have the punch that canned air's got, but it's a whole lot cheaper. Worst part is remembering to plug it in when you're done. Alright. In theory, this hole should be just big enough. And I'm going to have to go about a 64th of an inch, I think. I think it's going to work. Like I said, I want to try to salvage as much metal on the overall as I can. Yeah, it's going to be tight. So I think what we're going to have to do is go a different route on our combiners. Alright, so let's see if we can figure out how much wire we need. Because I usually go ahead and make my combiner and write my transformers all at the same time, and I really don't want to waste that much wire. So 1, 2, 3. I'll cut a couple pieces and we'll see what we get into on that. Used to work out of the closet. Well, when I started out 27 years ago doing this stuff, piddling around, I might as well have been working out of a closet. I actually worked in my spare bedroom 27 years ago doing this, and the spare bedroom was 8 feet by 9 feet, and I had to share it with a section that was one section had the furnace in it, so it was about a 6 foot by 8 foot room. Of course, there was a little indention in there, so that kind of helped. But yeah. That worked well. Not. I think my guesstimation is about right. I can use that one, but I think we're going to go up another half an inch on our length. It's easier to cut off than it is to add back on. Yeah, I wasn't gonna go there, Mr. Black, but yeah. Hopefully that's not empty yet. Shouldn't be. I believe this is quiet, guys. Come on. The quieter you guys get, the quieter I get. And the next thing you know, I want to go way back down and take a nap. my buddy Three Mate at least make some comments. He's always got something to say. Let's pass the time away. Anybody got any funny stories? You got a pecan pie. You're not my friend. You're sitting there eating a pecan pie and you didn't send me one. Of course, I did put my order in for one, though. I don't know if I'll get it or not, but I put an order in, too, for one. I'm trying to get Amy to make me one. I can't remember the last time I had a homemade, an actual true homemade pie. Things you miss about mom and grandma and good old days like that. Yeah, when you get older, especially if you're a guy, because you're always shoot out of the kitchen, so you really don't get a chance to actually sit down and learn some of the methods to the madness. I know me and another friend of mine over in Hawaii, we were talking about that the other day, and he's excited because it's that time of the year, where hams and turkeys and all that good stuff. And he was talking about this killer turkey gravy, mashed potatoes. Man, that sounds good. Definitely sounds good. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've got a ham in there that I haven't decided that I was going to fix it tonight, and just kind of out of the mood to cook myself, but I'll probably start that tomorrow. So we've got a nice baked ham. I'm going to fix some fried potatoes. I'm not sure what else is going to go with it. That's kind of on the menu. Oh Lord, the guys are firing up with the noise toys again. Gee, Christmas. It's times that it's just hilarious sitting back listening to what these guys talk about as far as your locals. So the other day I went outside and I was working on the vehicle, and it was what I thought was just going to be a 30-minute job, you know. Almost everybody out here put brakes on a vehicle. Man, 3.5 hours I worked. I beat, I banged, trying to get this flipping rotor off. It's one of the 97 Blazers. Man, I never worked so hard in my life just sitting there doing something so simple. 3.5 hours just to change out one of them. Of course, I think number 3 probably went to the refrigerator because he's quit talking. Well, essentially, the theme on this one is kind of a patriotic theme. If you guys haven't kind of guessed, you know, because we've got our red, white, and blue going on here. So we're actually doing the same thing here on our combiners. The only thing that's not red, white, and blue, and there really wasn't a good way to do it, which was on the combiners, which he didn't specify the colors whenever I made these for him several months ago. So we went with red and gray on the combiners. And like I said, you know, once we get everything set in there where we want, we'll trim off our excess wire and get those in there. Yeah, I'm figuring before it's all said and done, and I figure, which he's got a really nice Toshiba box. Now that the prices went astronomical on Toshibas, of course that's the reason why we're also dealing with HDs on this instead of Toshibas. I figure he's probably going to go back and build a driver for this that's non-Toshiba. Let's clean all this up and then I'll tape this all up a little bit later on once we get things figured out what we're going to do for the layout. What sounds good for dinner tonight, Fuzzy?
I don't know.
You know, you're welcome to pop in here on the feed too, you know.
Yeah.
Have a chit chat, talk.
Maybe
Seafood
don't.
diet. Yeah, I'm on that seafood diet all the time. Yeah, my foster son taught me that one. You see food, you eat it. Speaking of seafood, that actually doesn't sound too bad. Fish. another thing I'm just about out of too, but I need to order some more ferrite. Jiminy Christmas, it takes so much ferrite to do these things. Were you at 3 Made? I know you got to be in there hiding somewhere, big guy. Hey, let me answer this. Hey, what's going on, big guy? I'm doing a live feed, but you're on the air with me.
Well, I was going to answer your question, but hello and greetings and hello to everybody. It's Mr. BBI himself, box builder in Idaho. And I have my good friend Mark here, Mr. Rainmaker Customs himself, asked me a question earlier today, and I was just getting around to responding to it. So what are we working on tonight, Mark? Are you doing a live feed on Facebook or YouTube?
Actually, we're on YouTube right now. I've been sitting there chit-chatting back and forth with Mr. Black and a few of the other guys that are on there. And like I said, we're building
He informed me the other day that you were doing a live feed, and I was like, I didn't even know he was doing live feeds on YouTube.
Yeah, I thought I told you that a few months ago. But yeah, we're
I want you to put yourself in my shoes.
Yes.
Just one small little dealie of a minute. Think how many phone calls I get.
Oh, absolutely.
All the people telling me all the different stuff about them and their worlds. Think about it. So some of the little details have to slip by from time to time.
Oh,
so
yeah.
What are we working on tonight? What are we working on right now?
Well, what are we working on? Well, right now, I've got the power strip laid down. Now, this is actually one that our buddy Bruce down, actually here in Indiana, he's almost in Illinois, but anyways, we've got his 24 pill that he started himself, and he hit that point where he knew he better let somebody else finish it. So, we went ahead and changed the input wraps to where we've got those matched as they should be for full pill sections, and we've got the combiners right now that we're currently making for the input. I've already got the holes drilled for the power cables, so.
How many are we running?
Okay, well, I went with 6 on that.
6 on a 24 pill, huh?
I believe so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is what I've currently got, and then I've actually got room enough where I could add 2 more at the end, but I want to try to get the, since the power wires aren't put down, I have to figure out which way those are going to lay, because these are the transformers that I typically purchase from you. But
okay, now I want you to sit here where I'm going to pause. I'm going to ask you some questions because people will challenge you as you go forward in this career. You know that?
Absolutely.
So how many power wires do you think it needs to have? And then we can back that up with how many power wires it has to have.
Okay. Well.
Now, there's some little bit of math that you have to put into the equation as you go through the process, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the math that we're thinking about? We're obviously going to be thinking about how many amps that puppy's going to drink, right?
Absolutely.
And so then we're thinking about how long the leads are going to be coming off the amplifier to our source of power, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now we know how many amps are going to be consumed by that amplifier versus our distance of conductivity on the wire length. Okay, so you're going to have you're going to overkill it in one little aspect, and then you're going to overkill it in another. So no matter how hard we try, because the way the board's laid out, those transistors that are at the front of the board are going to get less current than the ones that are in the back, because that power wire is a little shorter.
Yes.
front to back. We know that. So now, the general rule is for every 4 transistors, you have to have 1 piece of 8-gauge wire.
For every
Why do you
4,
think that is?
to make sure you've got plenty of voltage, not just current, but also to keep the voltage up.
Okay, so we all know that in a push-pull configuration, in a 4-pill setup, 4 transistors. Out of that 4 transistors, when you're in operation on AM, how many of those transistors are actually on and doing anything at one time?
Well, since we're dealing with a 24 pill, we've got 12 that are on at any given time.
And 12 that are off.
Yes.
So let's go down a layer instead of thinking at the 24-pill level. Let's think at the 4-pill section level. So it is common, universally accepted that every 4 transistors in any configuration you want to put them requires at least a minimum of 1 8-gauge wire. And where we get that number from is if you go and look at 12 volts DC, and then you're going to look at amperage load, which we already have an estimated amperage load that we know that we're going to have roughly anywhere, depending on the efficiency of the circuit, which we all know is going to be somewhere between 60 and 65%. Okay? Then you're going to have somewhere in the area of about 70 to 80 amps that you're going to have to support to power up 2 transistors in a 4-pill configuration. Only 2 are on at a time. So we look at the length of wire that you're going to want to have, which is going to be a rough number. It's going to be roughly 8 feet. We'll say 8 feet is a common wire length. And you go and look at the amperage chart, it's got to be 8-gauge wire. So now, we know that we have 12 transistors that are on at all times, right? In
Yes.
operation. Are you following me?
Yes, I am.
You might want to go ahead and add those other extra wires.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you have, I'm pretty sure you have, you're a pretty smart individual. If you've ever bothered to meter, like on your workbench at your hookup point where the wire's at, what the voltage is there, and then actually meter what the internal voltage is at the transistor in operation, have you noticed that there's about a quarter of a volt worth of drop ever?
Yes. There's always at least a minimum of quarter volt.
Okay. People would be truly shocked if they would just walk around with a voltmeter so they've got their box running and measure what the voltage is and not just rely on the voltmeter on the dash. That's why you see in a lot of the projects that I have the pleasure to work on, I usually overkill it. I'll add 2 or 3 extra wires to help compensate for that differential in amp drop. So you gotta plan for the best, plan for the worst and pray for the best. So I'm planning for the worst that my customer is not going to have high-end, good quality Anderson clips that are actually the right size. And I'm going to plan for the fact that my customer doesn't have welding connectors that are actually the right size. So I'm going to give them more wires than what they need to force them to go to a bigger connector to pray that they can get a little bit better connection. You'd be really surprised how much heat you can take out of the amp, life that you're going to add to the amp, and how much more power it's actually going to build if it would just be supplied with good electrical connections. So you don't want to do the bare minimum, you want to overkill it a little bit.
Yes.
And right now, in theory, and I'm saying air parentheses, you can't see me, it's a bare minimum, yes, would you agree?
Yes, that is bare minimum.
So to answer your question in the roundabout story, I'm sorry I had to let you hang for so long. I've been
You're fine.
trying to get shopping going. I've got a very, very high profile guest coming to my house here in a couple of days. I want to make sure I got every little thing set up for him. It was just his birthday yesterday, by the way.
Oh, well, you'll have to tell him happy birthday.
So I had to run out and get one little portion left of his birthday present. I think we're going to work on that tonight. How many people you got viewing you right now, my friend Mark?
Well, right now we've only got about 5, but I am supposed to ask you about the boulder.
The boulder.
Yes.
You have to give me a little bit more context to work with there.
Okay, well, this is from Mr. Black, and he says, ask him about the boulder. Yeah, I'm waiting for him to send me something else here. Maybe we'll find out.
Like rock boulder, bouldering as in the climbing style. I'm thinking, Man, I don't
Hello,
know.
Darla.
With him, who knows?
Well, that's
Lord
just
only
it.
knows that guy.
Yeah. Happy holidays, y'all. Let's see. We put it in space. That's the hint that he's given me.
The boulder that we put in space.
Yes, Mr. Black says, ask him
And
about
about the cement that they backfilled Elon Musk's car with, and it's now on a permanent orbit between Mars and Earth.
That's probably what he's referring to, but I've got to wait for his comments to pop up. Yeah. What's Mr. Black? So you never know.
Yeah, you never know with him.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Mark, I just want to call you on my way from one place to the next, and I just pulled up in front of my house, and I got a bunch of stuff I got unloaded. So I wanted to answer your question. Hopefully, I didn't take your life feed.
Oh no, buddy. I appreciate it. You're welcome anytime. You're on the pickup immediately list. So, you got your own ringtone, the whole nine
about
yards.
doing a YouTube live feed one of these days, but
Yeah, well,
I spend so much time behind a camera already talking, and
you've got the gift of gab.
I don't think people quite understand how much energy it takes to do the YouTube channel, plus the Facebook live feeds, plus all the other stuff that goes along with it. And
Yes, and
it's a lot, and you're in the same boat, so
yes.
I know that you have a little bit of empathy towards the situation. So.
Yeah, well, and considering the fact that, and then on top of that, you've got, how many countless videos that people don't see you do live that, you're spending hours and hours on, not counting the editing that goes into that, which I know you've got somebody that helps with that portion. But still,
I do all that myself.
Oh, you're doing that now yourself, okay. But
I've always done it all myself.
Oh, okay. But
the only help I have is I just hired my wife as a full-time employee just to handle 100% of the shipping and the receiving of everything. That I don't have anything to do with that anymore, thank God. And she's the one that literally tells me what I'm working on next, and I'm not in charge of that anymore, thank God.
Well,
so
make sure that mommy's got something very, very nice for Christmas for that. So, all right, buddy. I appreciate it. Like I said, I know you've got things that you got to be doing. I'm gonna go ahead and get a few more things done here before I quit for the evening and go get some dinner myself. So, I appreciate it.
Mr. Mark, it's always a pleasure. Be good. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to call me. I'm always a valuable source of knowledge for you.
Yes, you are. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
a good
BBI.
evening to all your viewers. I appreciate them putting up with me calling in and interrupting your talk show.
Anytime. All right.
All right, buddy. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That is always nice. Always, always, always nice. So let's get back to this other combiner. Yes. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot more to it as far as whenever you get into some of the technical stuff like this that I think it's really, really difficult. Sometimes it's more difficult to even sit there and try to, when I'm not like Mr. BBI, who actually has a true gift for gab. He can talk about, he can find a story in almost anything. So that's something that I've just never really had a great gift for. However, whenever questions arise or questions, answers, comments, that kind of stuff, it actually does help as far as keeping the live feeds going, and it makes it more interesting too. So, I really enjoy whenever I get a couple of my buddies in here. Mr. Black, but he's right now filling his face with pecan pie. Then he's going to be sick for the next 2 days. He's usually one that's usually got a lot of questions, comments, things like that to go ahead and help in relationship to figuring out how to keep me talking. Which, as a child, I could never shut up. I don't think any of us could as a child growing up. But yeah, it's harder than what you guys think, to sit down and do a live feed. Whenever you've got silly antics like Catfish Cooley or some of the other guys out there, it's the actual entertainment side of it. That's very, very easier to come by. So, alrighty.
Just got one more here on the combiner. Yeah, I know you don't talk. You just do quick videos in and out, and then wham bam, thank you, man. I just can't get you to. I can't get you to shut up on the phone, but boy, I get you on a live feed, and I can't get you to talk for anything, Free Made. Alright, so we got our combiners made for the input. We're going to do the combiners for the output. I want to see how that's going to lay out. Like I said, I know I've got the 6 holes here. I did plan for 8. So that's one of the things that we're actually going to do when we get to that stage. We're actually going to come off the ends. That's the reason why I started in early, because of the fact that, you know, definitely want to do the overkill thing. I've also got another little trick that I want to do with that. Now my biggest hurdle, since this is already partially built, is right down the middle here. We've got combiners that are going to be on the input and output. Obviously, just going to lay these in here just for the moment. But anyways, we've got our combiners that's going to be going in here. We've also got what, 6 coaxes, you know, 3 per side, you know, since we're going to build this into a 4-pill configuration. So we've got our combiners, we've got our coaxes, we've got our output tuning capacitors that have to be installed, all in this, you know, all crammed in this little bitty area. But like I said, because of the way these transformers have already, since the transformers have already been set, you know, I really don't want to take them out if I don't have to. So I have to actually plan for a couple of different methods of how to power up our transformers. So that's going to be one of the big things that we're going to be looking at here real soon. Yep, it'll be red, white, and blue. We're actually going to keep it all matched as far as that goes. Like I said, I just grabbed 2 of them randomly, just for visual aid at the moment. So, I mean, it's nothing new. I mean, you guys have seen all that. Like I said, I can do one of 2 different things, and that's what I have to think about. Do I want to go ahead and build it in the same format here and either fish the wires and fight the wires up underneath the board, each transformer, or on the transformers to the pills? Or do I go the old school way, which is the way I'm kind of leaning? This way will actually allow me to loop over and go over to our main board here, which that's what I'm actually thinking very, very strongly on. So, you know, that's our key thing right now that we're going to be focusing on as far as that goes. But I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and stop for right now. I'll go ahead and make up the other combiners here, probably yet this evening, and then come back. I'm going to try a couple different things and see what I'm going to get into as far as layout, because I still want a nice clean layout across here. We're going to have our input combiner that's going to be setting up. Let's see, well, actually be setting up here, because this is the front and this is the back. So, you know, like I said, we've got a lot that we've got to go on. The other thing too that the customer really would like to have, but I want to get everything else done first, is he wants to go ahead and have a capacitor bank installed into this as well, to go ahead and keep that voltage at just that couple of tenths. So, alrighty there, 3 Mate, if you're getting out of there, good night. Mr. Black, Darla, whoever else is in there with us. Like I said, I mean, I know tonight's just a small, you know, small kind of low key as far as that goes. We're getting everybody ready for Christmas. This is one of those presents, if you will, that I would have liked to have actually had done for the customer before Christmas. But I unfortunately, we're not going to make it before Christmas. But we are going to make a dent in it. All right. On that note, guys, have a great evening. Take care. And we will catch you later.